People that know me know that I normally do health lectures. So today I just want us to do some health lectures and um, and see how God leads. This health lecture is just basically, so I'll really encourage you to invite someone to come if you know someone that is really sick or struggling with any diseases. We're going to look at the root cause and how to reverse any diseases. And you're going to see how it's going to tied up at the end of it. Okay. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, just to give a disclaimer that this information is it's not for you to change anything your doctor is asking you to say. Um, but it's just for medical treatment or any advice is for you to take it, pray about it, and when you're doing the changes, you're gonna tell your doctor about it, and you see that they're gonna stop you if you follow what is being taught here today. In the next couple of week, you'll see that you'll be off your medications and all that. But that is not the intention of this. It's just to learn. Okay. So we know that we are all called to obey. As Christians, we know that our number one, our number one calling is to what? To obey. To obey who? The Creator, the one who created this body, the one who created this world. And when we read Exodus chapter 15, verse 26, it says, and that is the Lord said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and what? Keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I, the Lord, that healeth thee. We need to keep this in mind. And at the end of it, we will see how it's going to tie down. God is calling us. He said he is our healer. So what is the point of us going to the hospital? Why did he create people to be physician and all that? Everything that God created is good. Yes, he created the physicians. He called people, he gave people the talent to be physicians, to be surgeons, and everyone has their place. God is calling us what? He said he's going to not put, if we obey, he's going to not put the diseases he put upon the Egyptians on his people, on us. But because he is the one that heal. The physicians, they can cure, but they don't make people whole. Only God that can make us whole. It's only God that can heal us physically, emotionally, mentally. Total healing come from God, not the physician. Okay. When we read Proverbs chapter 26, verse 2, the last part says, so a curse without cause shall not alight. A curse without cause shall not alight. We know that the Bible is just basically saying that there is nothing that happens without a cause. Everything that happens has a cause, a root cause of it. So that's why you know how it was just recently I was sharing with everyone, we're talking about curses on how Africa, people put curse on people. And the reason why we need, as Christian, we need to do good. We need to have our heart clean, because the Bible is clear here that if we have our heart clean, no matter what anyone does to us, no matter anyone that places a curse on us, according to this word of God, he said it will not come. The reason why curses are light on people is because their hearts are not clean, because they are also dabbling into things. That's why someone will curse you and it will come to pass. When we study the word of God, it says what? A curse without a cause. So if there's no cause for the person, if there is no cause for the person to curse you, whatever he says or whatever he does to you, it's not going to align. And so that is it, a disease. A disease cannot just happen. You cannot just wake up that day and have a pot belly or any kind of disease, or be diagnosed with hypertension, or be diagnosed with diabetes or anything like that. There have to be a cause for it. So a disease never comes without a cause. Basically, that's what it is. So every time we see a disease, we know that there was a cause. There was something that happened to cause it. And that brings us to this, the law of cause and effect. every effect have a cause. So if we wake up, we have having headache on Tuesday, was it? Yeah. On Tuesdays, it was really hot here. And I took my children to a play date and I forgot to take my water. By the time I got home, I was having this severe headache. And I know what it was. Every cause, every effect has a cause. So I knew that I was just dehydrated. So what did I do when I got home? I started drinking water. Within 15, 30 minutes, my headache was not all that gone, but it was half gone. So if the effect is present, we know that there's a cause present. So if the cause is removed, so what did I do to remove the cause? I started drinking water. By the end of the day, the headache was gone. So we have to remove the cause for the effect to stop. But many times, the doctors are all just focusing on the effect of it. So they are all, what if I go to the hospital? They imagine, just give me some paracetamol. Tylenol, just tell me to go take some Tylenol and yeah, Tylenol will help, but it's not going to remove the cause of it. And I knew that the cause of it was just to just hydrate myself. You see? So anytime we remove the root cause of the problem, we know that the disease will stop. I hope I'm making sense. And you can open your mic and ask questions if you want. If you have any question, you don't have to wait till the end. So what is disease? We said that there's no disease without a cause of it. Any disease that happens is because there's a cause for it. Disease is an effort of nature to free the system from condition that results from the violation of the laws of health. Remember the call to obedience? Anytime we are in violation of the law, we are opening our body to diseases. So what are the laws of health? Talking about air, we are talking about sunlight, we are talking about temperance, we are talking about rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, and the trust. We have to trust in the divine power. And for us Christians, our divine power is God. So these are all the remedies. These are the true remedies to reverse any diseases. True remedies. So we are going to take this one, and I'm going to take my time. We're not going to finish it today. We're going to finish it hopefully next week. So what happens? What should we do if we could become sick? What should we do? We need to know the reason why we became sick in the first place. So sickness and disease are caused by one or three of these reasons for the glory of God. And this is the hardest part of these three. This is the harder part. We remember the story of Job. Sometimes God allows things to happen, disease to happen to us, right? For the glory of God. Remember Paul and Silas? They had to go through a difficult time, right? There was not a disease. They went to prison for just someone to be saved. Job was, God allowed something to happen to him for the glory of God. So that's how sometimes, God allow certain things to happen to us, certain disease to happen to us, just to keep us humble. And I'm telling you, if it's God's will, if the reason why you are sick is to the glory of God, I'm telling you, you're going to have peace in that disease or whatever you're going through. He's going to give you that peace that surpasses all understanding. Another reason is because of violation of natural laws. When we violate natural laws, we are going to get sick. Natural laws, gravity is a natural law. If you go stand in the front of a train or a car, you're going to get hit. It's a natural law. God has given us the wisdom to be able to discern what is good and what is bad most of the time. So if we violate natural laws, we're going to get sick. We're going to die. Or the violation of the spiritual law, and which is most of the sickness we have is because we are violating the spiritual law of health. That is why most of us are sick. I'm including myself here. So in cases that we get sick, what happens? Because we live in this sinful world. We don't even know what we are buying from the grocery store because they put things in it. So in cases that we get sick, what happens? We need to ascertain the cause of it. Unhealthy conditions should be changed. Wrong habits needs to be corrected. There are people that just work. And then the body starts deteriorating. You need to change that wrong habit. We know that. The nature is to be assisted in the effort to expel impurities and to re-establish right condition in the system. Look, when God created us, He created us in a way that if we give the body the right condition, the body is going to heal itself. That's that this cancer that is spreading itself like that. If you give the body the right condition, it's gonna restart itself. But many times we do not know, ignorance. And many times we know, but we don't want to do what we are supposed to do, right? So we need to change our wrongful habit. We need to give the body the right condition to heal itself. So we know that the smallest unit of the body is the cells. Our cells is the one, when we put cells together in our body, it becomes the tissues. And the combination of tissues, becomes the organs. But when we are sick, we go to the hospital. What do the doctors focus on? They focus on the organs. So they give you medicine to lower the blood pressure. That's the heart, to do something with the heart, to do something with the arteries. But what if we want to have true healing? We need to focus on the cells. That's why, natural remedies, if we want to go the natural remedy, it takes time, because it's not just doing with the organ. No, it's going down to the cell level, and it takes time. And people don't like that time that it takes. So they give up and go to the. So our body is made out of cells, and cells put together makes tissue, and tissue put together makes organs. Yeah. So conventional medicine only focuses on the organ. If we want to focus on the cells, we know that cells need things. We are talking about the right condition. What are some of the right conditions the cells need to be able, right, to function well? Because if we can target the cells and give it what it needs, the tissue will be okay, the organs will also be okay. What do the cells need? It needs good oxygenation, the pure air, right? Without oxygen, the cells die in about 3 minutes. It needs proper water, proper hydration. Without water, the cells die in a few days. It needs proper nutrition. Without nutrients, the cells, they die in a few weeks. And it has to have a way to eliminate itself. And this is where many people, I talk to people, how many times do you poop a day? How do you sweat? Do you sweat? Do you drink enough water to pee? So I poop maybe 3 times a week. I'm like, yeah, no, that is not good. That is not good. Elimination. If you don't eliminate, you are storing a lot of toxin in your body. So cells, because it's energy, anything that can breathe, anything that requires nutrients, always have elimination, always stores toxin. And our cells are like that. They eat, they breathe, they need water. So they expel toxin. And there have to be a way to eliminate this toxin. And it has to be removed promptly, or death will result in a matter of minutes or at most hours. So if you're in the habit of not sweating, elimination is not just about the poop. You need to sweat, you need to, urinate, all these things. But our bowels is one of the main toxin elimination channel, okay? So does drugs heal? The drugs they prescribe for, does it cure our diseases? I know, I've worked in the healthcare system here. They start you on one blood pressure medication. Within a year or so, they realize that it's not working. They'll add you more, add more, and add more. It's rather unfortunate that a lot of people are having this blood pressure issue. And at the end of it, they are on dialysis because they cannot control it. So drugs never cure diseases. They only change its form and location. When drugs are introduced into the system, for a time, they may seem to have a beneficial effect. A change may take place, but the disease is not cured. It may manifest itself in some other form. That's all it does. Recently, I'm working with someone who have high blood pressure. They started him on this medication, and he's been monitoring his blood pressure every, So he took it there. He took the blood pressure monitoring stuff, the list that he had, and they wanted to. And I told him, if they start you on this it's hard for you to get out of this blood pressure medication. I'm not kidding you. It's very hard. They see it's not working. They're going to increase the dose. They're going to increase the dose and increase it and increase it. Just a little bit of changes can help drastically with this blood pressure problem. The disease which the drug was given to cure may disappear, but only to reappear in a new form. Have you ever seen people when they are even doing the drug medication on TV? When it comes to side effects, they are hurriedly saying the side effects because they don't want you to hear it. They don't want us to hear it. So it will reappear in a new form, such as skin, that is the side effect, skin diseases, ulcers, painful joints, painful disease joints, sometimes in many more dangerous and deadly form. Nature keeps struggling, and the patient suffers with different ailments until there is a sudden breakdown in her efforts, and death follows. When it comes to death, it's because the body has done everything, and that is how God created the body. God has created the body in the form that it will do when this one shut out, this one will come, and it will try its best to sustain the life until, there's nothing else it can do again. And then death happens. So let's take a look at pure air. These are just simple remedies we can start today to help our body, to restore our body. Pure air. So fresh air, fresh pure air is most essential to sustain life. We can live for weeks without food, days without water, but only a few minutes without air. Every cell in our body requires oxygen. And what is the byproduct? What is the toxic part that we need to expel? We need to expel the carbon dioxide, right? So we take in that, and we have to. What if you want to hold your breath? You don't want to expel out the toxin, which is the carbon dioxide. You're gonna die. So if the air we breathe is not pure, then we force ourselves to function on this impure oxygen, which will result in all kinds of health issues. So people are like pollution in the air these days, very, very bad for our health. There are all factories all over, and people live around all this impure air and breathing in, although they are bringing in oxygen, but the air is not pure enough, and it causes a lot of asthma problem, a lot of respiratory problem. Pure air is essential to life. It vitalizes the blood, it restores the mind, it kills germs, and it helps clean the lungs. That's something we need to know, that oxygen in itself, it's a healing. It heals, it kills germs. It cleans up things in our body. Cancer, that's why cancer cells cannot survive on good oxygen. The reason why a lot of cancer is because there's no good air in the system right now. You can go do research, part of cancer treatment, natural problem, they put people on high oxygen and their cancer is resolved. High oxygen. So pure air is very important. The best time, during the winter season, we need to be going outside to be taking the fresh air, especially when it rains and there's a thunderstorm. Those are good times to go out and take a nice deep breath, pure oxygen around those times. During the summer, not so much, because especially if you live in the city, everything is just, so hot and humid and all that. Get a purifier in your house, air purifier, to purify the air in your home. So benefits of deep breathing: it soothes the nerve, it stimulates the appetite, renders more perfect digestion. You might be wondering, how does air has to do with digestion? It does, because you have cells in your digestive tract, and your cells need those energy to be able to do what it needs to do. Induce sound, refreshing sleep. Promotes good blood. Have you seen blood? Good blood. When you poke yourself, look, you need to access the blood. Is your blood dark? or is it bright red? If you know that it's blood, it's bright red, you know that you are having good oxygenated blood. It makes you more alert. We breathe. We need to take note of this. We breathe automatically. Breathing is an automatic. We don't even think about it, right? Do we? We don't. We just know that we are breathing. But we can also take control of our breathing and breathe consciously. So if you need healing, the cancer patient is an example I'll give. If they want it, they tell them to be conscious about their breathing. Conscious breathing is the foundation of healing. So when it rains, I'm saying good time to go after the rain, or when it's raining, go outside. Conscious breathing, it's breathing in, you're consciously breathing in and out. That is where the healing comes from. It's not what we are doing at this automatic healing, breathing. Conscious breathing brings healing. Okay, so try it. Try it. So what triggers impure air in our house? There's a lot of things we are doing these days that brings a lot of sickness in our body, especially if you have asthma or respiratory problem. There are certain things you don't want to have in your home. Just like the air freshener. Yeah, it smells good, but do you know the chemicals they put in that thing? Air fresheners have about more than 100 different chemicals. And that causes indoor pollution. Plugins. I used to have all those things, because I like my house to smell good. Everyone does. So they make all these candles, scented candles. All these things have a lot of chemicals that causes a lot. They say the scented candles is like smoking secondhand smoke. That's how bad it is. Most candle wax is made out of paraffins and petroleum waste product that creates high toxin benzene. Very toxic to the body, and we have all these things in our home. Cleaning chemicals. There's a lot of people that are doing natural things. Go on YouTube and find ways to get clean chemicals to clean your bathroom, to clean the place. Lead paint, mold. Mold has become a very, very toxin in our home. Mold. Carpets, it holds on a lot of fumes. It holds a lot of things. That doesn't mean that I have carpet in my home, but I make sure it's clean. I have a carpet cleaner. I vacuum. The boys vacuum for me. They vacuum every day. You vacuum it so that it doesn't hold, because those carpets hold a lot of fumes and chemicals. These are some of the things that are in our homes that, causes us to have no clean air in the home. So how do we improve that? Open up your windows, allow fresh current, constant airflow don't close, don't always your windows are always closed. No, let fresh air come in and out. At night, open the window at least 1 inch to allow fresh air into your sleeping room. Very important. Crack it open a little bit. At night, let the fresh air come in. Do away with candles and plugs in. So what are some of the alternatives? How do you get your house? Use essential oils. Those are the best way to refreshen your homes, to get good scent in your homes. So if you have asthma, get a diffuser. Put some essential oil of peppermint, rosemary, all those things. Diffuse it. You'll also be smelling very nicely. And what else is happening? You're breathing in that, your asthma will disappear. So it's not just about smelling good. It's about also replenishing, giving your lungs what it needs, Make your own natural cleaning products without any harmful chemicals. There's a lot of it. And have plants in your home. Have plants in your home. I do not, but it's a good thing to have plants in your home. And these are some of the plants. Remember, plants takes in the carbon dioxide, right, and give out oxygen. So have plants in your home, especially in this summer, that the air is not that good, These plants you can do a good exchange with these plants. They take in what you need. They need what you are taking out. The toxin you are breathing out, they need it. And you need the toxin they are giving out. We need it. So plants, these are some of the plants, and you can get this in Home Depot. I've been there and I've seen all those things. What about sunlight? Oh, this is a good time to be talking about sunlight because it is hot. Facts about the sun. This is one of the nature's most healing agents. Sunlight is a source of 98% of Earth's energy. Nothing can work, Energy, when we talk about energy, all comes from the sun. No life can exist or function without sunlight. Very important. Very, very important. Please, I'll make it a habit, especially if you have high blood pressure. I'm not kidding you. Go sit in the sun for at least, if you're dark skinned, sit in the sun for at least 45 minutes and go check your blood pressure after that. An easy way to reverse your blood pressure, going sitting in the sun. If it helps facilitate healthy bones, sun exposure has a great impact on calcium absorption in the body. It resets the circadian rhythm. We know the circadian rhythm, it's the wake-sleep cycle. If you're having problem with insomnia, go sit in the sun. Insomnia, you can't sleep at night. Go sit in the sun. It triggers your the pineal glands to regulate the circadian rhythm. It lowers blood pressure by 8%, high level of triglyceride. The amount of fats in the blood and high blood pressure are both lowered by adequate sunlight. A simple take sunlight on the body will lower blood pressure by 8%. So just imagine, 8% is a lot. If your blood pressure is in the 160, just imagine doing that every day, very soon, and coupling with fresh breathing. Going back to the breathing part, there's this machine. Go look at it. Go look at it on Amazon. It's called the Respirate. Just by breathing in and out. So just doing exposure to the sunlight and breathing in and out, you are going to reverse your blood pressure. So when a person combines exercise with receiving sunlight, blood pressure is lowered by 15, and coupled with breathing very well, conscious breathing, it's more. It lowers blood sugar level also. Sunlight affects the carbs metabolism in the body, as does insulin. Sunlight lowers the level of blood sugar in the bloodstream when it is too high, and raises the level if it's too low. So it gives us a balance. There's a reason why God made all these things. When man sinned, day 4, God created the sun in day 4. And then sin entered into the world. And God knows that we're going to need all these things. It increases white blood cells. And why do we need it? That is our immunity. The number of white cells increases when the body is in sunlight. In the cell, the powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondria. And because the mitochondria in our cells are weak, that's why we are exposed to all these things. Just exposing yourself to the sunlight, it triggers that mitochondria to be activated again. And nothing can stand that if your mitochondria is the energy center of the cells is triggered. It's going to be expelling a lot of things. You'll be healthy. Sunlight, very powerful. It decreases blood cholesterol, blood circulation, improves it. Stress. Who's sitting there? If you're depressed, that's why nowadays during the winter, you see, during the summer season, people are happy because they're in the sun. They're happy. That's how it is. And during the winter, people are mean and depressed and all that. And now they figure it out. So they have light. Go on Amazon. You can get it's called the SAD light. During the winter, people are now using it for about there's instruction on how to use it. But get those light if you are that kind of a person that is depressed during the winter season. Go get that light. Shine it on yourself for 15 to 20 minutes every day in the morning. You'll see that depression is going to run away. So things that light does, it modifies the work of the kidney. It regulates the blood cells. It regulates the hormones. Sunlight can cure disease like tuberculosis just by exposing them to this. Join this. When a baby is born and they're yellow, what do? Don't they put them under the lights? They do. If you have fungal infection, that's athlete's foot. Go expose yourself in the sun and see what happens. Common cold. You see why cold is common during the cold season? Exposing yourself to sunlight. during the sunny season will prevent all this cold you have during the winter season. Light, very powerful. How much do we need? Light skin, 15 to 30 minutes, because I know that one thing. And please, I'm not a believer of this sunscreen. You go put yourself in the sun and you're putting sunscreen. I don't, no. 15 to 30 minutes for Caucasian, those light skin people. But we African American, we the African Black people, we need a little bit more of that, 45 to an hour. During the time of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., when the UVB rays are the highest, we need that UVB rays. Okay? Those are the times. Very powerful. Sitting there and bathing. And the thing is that you don't have to expose your whole body. It can just be your hands and your feet. Cover your other self. Because I know people say, I'll get sunburn and all that. You will not. Caucasian, sit in it for 30, exposing just your finger, your hands and your feet. Cover the other place. Wear a hat. No, you'll not get any sunburn. So what do you do during the winter? You remember that the sun exposure we get, it can be stored. That vitamin D that we get from the sun, it can be stored to take us throughout the winter time. But if you're not exposed to it enough during the summertime, you need to supplement with vitamin D. Yeah, it's okay. Supplement, and these are some of the things. During the June and September, I use the natural sunlight. During the winter, supplement with vitamin D. Get the SAD light, get the 10,000 lux. Put it 11 to 16 inches from your face, 20 minutes every morning. Okay? UVB light therapy is also there if you want it. Okay? So just make sure, just get yourself exposed during the winter, during the summer season. What else? Temperance. Temperance is something that we all, we need to be very, very conscious of. And temperance, we know it's a fruit of the spirit. True temperance teaches us to disperse entirely with everything hurtful. Sometimes we treat our body like it's our body. Remember, our body is a temple of God. And we put things in it, we put stuff on it that does not belong there. If we have that spirit of temperance, we know that we will have that ability to discern that this is hurtful to my body. This is not your body. It is hurtful to the temple of God. And to judicially that which is healthful. In order to preserve health, temperance in all things is necessary. Temperance in labor, temperance in eating and drinking. Some people work. They work so much that their body is now, giving up. Temperance. It's not just about food. It's about how we use our time. Temperance in everything. If men and women of intelligence have their moral powers benumbed through intemperance of any kind, they are in many of their habits elevated, but little above the heathen. Satan is constantly drawing the people from saving light to custom and fashion, irrespective of physical, mental, and moral health. Many times we are doing things because everyone is doing it. They say it's the fashion. These high heels we are wearing. Well, let me just leave it there. The great enemy knows that if appetite and passion predominate, the health of the body and strength of intellect are sacrificed upon the altar of self-gratification, and man is brought to speedy ruin. You think all this fashion they have now, this tight thing we are wearing and heels that we are wearing, you think it's not, the devil knows what he's doing. Go do the research. What should I call it? There's this woman, this preacher, Paula White. She wore heels, was it a couple of years ago? She was having problem with her toes and they have to go do surgery on, and she was saying some stuff about it. All those things we need to be temperance in all things. That's the point of it. Temperance, it's not even good things. We can be doing good things and we are overdoing good things. Temperance, we need the balance. That's all temperance is all about. The balance of things. Healthy habits. Abstain from all harmful substance, tobacco, alcohol, coffee. Yes, coffee is harmful to you. Go do research for it. Go do teas. All those things are stimulants. Anytime we are stimulating the body, what is happening? Cortisol is being released. And cortisol, yes, it's good, but not in long term in our body. Cortisol causes inflammation, and we are pumping out our body with coffee and teas. And our body is always in that alert mode, and inflammation happens. And you know what the disease likes? They like inflammation. So you're feeding them. Colors, soft drinks. These are things that we need to be very careful of. Be moderate even in good things. Do not overeat. Oh, overeating. Because the food is good, we eat and overeat. Oh, do not overeat, even with good food. Do not eat too much of too many varieties at one time. This is something when we get to the nutrition part, we're going to talk about it. Every time we have a plate, we have fruit here, vegetables here, carbs. No. Too much varieties causes the food to stay in our stomach. Fermentation happens. Chew your food slowly and thoroughly to avoid digestion issues. We need to remember that 70 to 90% of our immunity is in the gut. That's why sickness is rampant, because we are not taking good care of the gut. We just eat anything that we want to eat. While we know that our immunity is in the gut, the devil knows. Avoid snacking in between meals, and we are going to talk about that. Eat at set a time that you're going to be. These are things that we need to learn to be doing. Space your meals at least 5 hours apart. You don't want to eat breakfast and then in an hour you're eating something else. In an hour how does your body get rest? How does your digestive system get rest? Because they need rest. They also need rest. You cannot be put. And we're going to look at a research that was done about this. Avoid wasting time. We remember time is a talent. Time is a universal talent. Everyone has it. So when that day comes and you say, God, you did not give me any talent, that's a lie. The talent of time, we talked about this before. Use your time wisely and constructively. Temperance. Take restful periods in your life and avoid overwork. Reduce excess weight, which contributes to many sickness and disease. Check the side effects of any medication you're taking. What effect is it having in you? And pray to God. God, I don't want to take this. This is your temple. I can't have these chemicals in my body. Show me the way. He will show you the way. As Christ followers, we should in eating and drinking act from principle, not from impulse. We shouldn't do that. And nowadays, we've been trained to do things on impulse. But we have to live according to principle. When we obey the injunction of the apostles, whether therefore we eat or drink or whatsoever ye do all in the glory of God. Thousands of dollars, which are now sacrificed upon the altar of hurtful lust, will flow into the Lord's treasury. And this is what the writer is saying. Millions of dollars have been sacrificed in the altar. Because of what? Because we cannot control our habits, our wrongful habits. This money could have been used for God's ministry. Missions would have been established in the other nations, and then will the followers of Christ be indeed the light of the world. But no, because we cannot control ourselves, we don't have that temperance. We are doing everything, and we end up spending a lot of money. Let us allow God to work with us to overcome any addiction to food or behaviors. Yes, God can help us with it. Temperance is the gift of the Holy Spirit. We need to ask, and He will give us victory. Okay, so we are going to stop it from here today. God's willing. Next week, we're going to continue.